I want to turn now to Markham Davis. He is the founding director at Abundance International, a nonprofit that has helped provide aid to Ukrainian orphans since 2012. And he joins me now from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Markham, thank you so much for joining us. How worried are you about the winter ahead?
It's critical, and you understand what's ahead for us. Just 2 years ago, we have managed many orphanages, and 4 of them are now in Russian-controlled territory. We had to rebuild an entire orphanage one time to solve their heating problem, where the kids couldn't even stay in the lower floor because of the cold. They all had to be the upper level. Now we're looking at an entire winter where that's the possibility. So starting about a month ago, we began helping buy coal and wood, because the heating systems in the homes are also regulated by electricity. And so the biggest need, even to me above electricity, is for heat. And we have got to be prepared. It's going to be a crisis, and it's going to be of great magnitude. I can't tell you how concerned we are. It is now going from just food and medicine to really life and death with the winters there. And I've been living there for 10 years, so I can tell you how cold it gets.
Yeah, I mean, lay it out a little bit more for people who are not aware of how harsh and brutal the winters are in places like Ukraine, and that warmth, heat is a luxury now that is of essential, life essential detail.
I love these kids so much, and for 10 years we've been able to just love them and hold them and hug them. And of course, since the war started, our focus has been survival, getting food and medicine there. And at abundanceinternational.org, we cover more than 20 orphanages now, 4 of them in Russian-controlled territories. And now we're focusing our effort not just for the food, but for the heat, because that's going to be the issue. Yes, in various parts of the Ukraine, it is colder than others. I lived in Mykolaiv, which, of course, you hear a lot of right now in the news. And we've covered orphanages all over the place. So here's the problem. When electricity goes out, they also can't regulate the heat. Heat becomes such a central issue. You can bundle the kids up as much as you want, but you've also got to then cook food. You have to do many other things that it takes with the more than 2,000 kids we're caring for. So the only backup options we have are electric generators and coal. And of course, the rest of the country right now is figuring that out too. So the supplies are going to become short. So all the donation money we're getting, we're now having to add on to that, buying coal, wood, furnaces, and electric generators, because these kids have to be the priority.
Now, if the situation further deteriorates, what can be done?
Right now, like I said, we hope that there will be some moderation of electricity. We hope that there will be enough fuel to create heat. If not, we've got to simply provide coal and power generators to get them through the winter. It is a cold country. 8 months of the year are cold. And of course, the middle 3 and 4 can be sub-zero on a regular basis, more so in the northern part of the country. So we have got to raise money now to go ahead and buy the coal and do what we can to take care of this in advance of the coming winter. We're doing the best we can, but it's going to take everybody pitching in to help from the outside world as well.
I want to get your take on some disturbing, deeply disturbing reports that we're getting of Ukrainian children from orphanages in Russian-occupied territories being taken to Russia, which is, as you know, a potential war crime. Talk to us about the precarious conditions of these children that you are helping and many organizations are helping in these most dangerous of times.
We've been caring for the orphanage in Kherson specifically for probably the past 8 years and done a lot to help them. And when the war came down, of course, the network went out that, abundanceinternational.org has been the one to care. So 4 more chimed in and said, can you help us? Literally, let me tell you 2 sides of the story very quickly. One has been the food supply, because the Russians ransacked the grocery stores. Many of the stores were shut down. We had to start our own food supply system behind enemy lines. The Ukrainians can't get there. So we literally had our network connect with farmers, ranchers, butchers, even pharmacists to open from the back door to get us the things we need. And we've been able to successfully now, since the war started, be able to provide food and medicine to these kids from more than 4 orphanages. The main orphanage we supported in the center of Kherson was taken over. Literally, our staff was asked to leave, And before the Russians could take over, we went to the effort of creating our own foster care system with getting these kids put into local families, and then we help the families get the food they need. This is something I don't know how else anybody else could do this, but it's been the thing I'm most proud of under the most incredible circumstances, to make sure these kids are taken care of, which are beyond the reach of anyone else in the West.
Markham Davies, thank you so much for talking to us, and we wish you all the best with your important work.
Thank you.
And if you would like to help contribute to the work Abundance International is doing, you can find more information at abundanceinternational.org.